Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video we'll look at how to balance equations. And yeah, let's get started with our first equation, which is the combustion reaction of pentane. I know it because it's a fuel plus oxygen that creates CO2 and water. You should know that. It's also a pentane because of C5H12. That's the formula of pentane. It's basic knowledge that you should know. So let me start with getting the black pen. And the way I like to do things is I like to write them down so I avoid any confusions or if I miss anything. Before I do that, let me just move our next equation a bit to the downer parts. There we go. And yeah, so I like to write things down. So I'll say I see C, I see H, and I see O on this side. So I have to see it on the other side too, because matter cannot be created nor destroyed. And I will start by counting them. So I'll say I have 5 atoms of carbon there. So 5, I'll write it down. 12 of hydrogen, 12, and 2 of oxygen on this side. Then I have only 1 of carbon here. I have 2 of hydrogen, and you guessed it, 3 of oxygen on this side. So on first thought, what I like to do is I want to balance the first thing that I see, which is carbon. So I'll say, okay, in order for me to balance this out, I can't add anything in front of it like here, because that's not how it works. What I can do is add something behind it which multiplies it. So I'll say if I want 1 to become 5, I'll multiply it by 5. So I'll say 1 multiplied by 5, that's 5. So these two are now balanced out, right? Then I look again. That not only affected the carbon, it also affected the oxygen. So we'll also have to change this. 5 times 2, that's... Why is it not working? Okay. 5 times 2, that's 10, plus 1, that's 11. So now we're even more unbalanced now. But that's okay, we'll just leave that for later, because now we're going to balance our hydrogens. So the order that you do it depends on you. For combustion reactions, I'll just like to follow this order. I do carbon, hydrogen, then oxygen. So you'll see that we have 2 here and 12 there. How do we get from 2 to 12? Multiply by 6. Good job. So we'll add a 6 over here too, and we will change this to 12. So now even our hydrogens are balanced. Who's left? Mr. Oxygen. Well, Mr. Oxygen is not 11 anymore, thankfully. Mr. Oxygen is actually 16. So that made it so much easier for us, because how do you get from 2 to 16? That's right, multiply by 8. So we'll add 8 over here, and this brother becomes 16. Happy days, we have balanced the equation. Easy and done. So if it's a combustion reaction, it shouldn't take you longer than 2 minutes, 1 minute. So in an exam, I shouldn't be seeing you struggle on that one. The thing that you might struggle with is the next part. So let me bring this down here. So as I said, I like to write down what we have on our paper here. So we have 1 aluminum, 1 H, hydrogen, and 1 Cl, chlorine. On the other side, we have 1 aluminum again, thankfully. We have 2 hydrogens this time, it's diatomic, and then we have 3 chlorines. So it's 1, 2, 3 again. How fun. So right now, your first reaction to this would be, okay, I want to do chlorine first because it's with, I can just put a 3 next to it. Well, don't do that, because if you add a 3 over here, guess what happens? This is going to become, no, not there. I was so confused for a second. So this, if you add a 3 over here, this becomes 3, right? But then your hydrogen also becomes 3. Then you will have 3 over here and only 2 over there. How are you going to balance that? That's going to be so hard. So what I like to do is I'll just say, okay, I'll predicted I'll look into the future. That's what you need to do. You need to be always ready in chemistry. I'll look into the future. I'll say 3 times 2, which is 6. So I'll just write down 6 so I don't have to struggle with it and then get confused again later on. So I'll say I'll add 6 here. And right now, let's write down what we have. Al still 1. Hydrogen now we have 6 off. And chlorine we also have 6 off. 6, 6. And right now, it's just wraps over here. We can just add a 2 over here to make the chlorines similar. So we'll also add a 2 here to make the aluminum same. And we'll add a 3 here to make that 6. And I know this one could have confused you a bit more, but you just honestly, it's just common sense. Look at it, see how you can make the numbers the same, and just go from that side. Like I followed my what do you call it, sense, instincts. So and right now I'll count it again. I have 2 of this. This is also 2. I have 6 of hydrogen and 6 of chlorine, and that is balanced. Yay, yay, yay. Emir has done it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment if you're confused, and thank you. Goodbye.